Hi, this is True News, where we say what you're thinking. President Bola Tinubu Monday suspended Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation Minister Betta Edu following public outrage. She's accused of diverting more than 585 million naira of public money into a personal bank account. Top presidential aide Ajuri says that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has ordered investigation into Dr. Edu's ministry. He's also asked her to comply with the investigation and called for the reform of government institutions that run the National Social Investments Program, NSIP, initiatives like the Grant for Vulnerable Groups that aim to tackle poverty. Dr. Betta Edu has, however, denied any wrongdoing. Betta Edu has found herself in hot water, and there's a public outcry over this scandal. So people are doing #BettaGate already. Her suspension is a welcome development. It will allow the relevant agencies to conduct a proper investigation. But let's take a step back and take a look at the bigger picture. This isn't the first time we've seen controversy surrounding this particular ministry. Betta Edu's predecessor faced scrutiny when she couldn't provide evidence of where the funds allocated for feeding school children went. This ministry is supposed to care for the most vulnerable amongst us. Yet, it seems to be just another avenue for politicians to do their dirty work. Some people have even called for the ministry to be scrapped altogether. But can you blame them? It is disheartening to see funds meant for humanitarian assistance, especially in a country like ours, where there's a lot of insecurity, there's a lot of economic downturn, and these monies are being misused and diverted into personal accounts. That's not all on BettaGate. The matter took another twist yesterday when the Minister of Interior, Tunji-Ojo, was accused as one of the beneficiaries of the memo that Dr. Edu approved. Shortly after her suspension, reports emerged that the minister paid a company owned by the Minister of Interior a total of 438.1 million naira for consultancy services. The minister, who described the report as shocking, said he was not involved in the day-to-day running of the New Planet Project Limited, a company which he resigned from in 2019. No, sir, there is no smoke without fire, and Nigerians are asking for a forensic audit of all spending, not just in the Humanitarian Ministry, but also in the Interior Ministry and its agencies. This is a total betrayal of trust, a slap in the face to the very people who need help the most. So my friends, what do you think? I mean, up until a few days ago, the two active or the two most performing ministers in this new administration have been Betta Edu and Tunji-Ojo. So we'll just leave it at that and watch as this matter unfolds. At number 2, bandits invaded Sagwari Layout Estate in Dutse, a suburb of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, in Buhari Area Council on Sunday, January 7th. The gunmen took 8 residents and then proceeded to abduct 2 staff members of a nearby hotel. According to the Vanguard newspaper, the incident occurred at about 7:30 p.m. and the victims were said to have been taken to the nearby hills behind the estate. An eyewitness said efforts by some security personnel and the estate security to go after the kidnappers were fiercely resisted by the bandits, who had superior firepower and were firing from vantage positions atop the hills. The FCT Police Command had at the weekend assured residents of Abuja, particularly those living in Ushafa, Buhari and its environs, of their safety, as additional police personnel have been deployed to ensure that security threats are nipped in the bud. Barely had we recovered from the shock of bandits demanding a whopping 300 million naira ransom for 13 people previously kidnapped in the FCT when this happened. It has become a weekly nightmare across the FCT. It is leaving everyone on edge, constantly looking over our shoulders. It is a situation that demands urgent attention. The response to the spate of insecurity around the FCT has been disheartening. Obviously, something needs to be done. the FCT Police Command has repeatedly failed to issue any meaningful statements on the matter. When affected residents reached out for help, the Commissioner of Police directed them to the Divisional Police Officer, DPO, who in turn claimed there was nothing they could do. Can you believe it? They even suggested that residents should turn to vigilantes and acquire arms through them. This is not good enough. We cannot continue like this. We need strong, decisive action from our authorities. When you reached out to the FCT Police Command, no response, none of them wants to make any statement. The safety and well-being of Nigerian citizens should be their top priority. It is time for the FCT Police Command to step up. At number 3, Pope Francis has called for a global ban on surrogacy. He said this Monday during a speech about threats to peace and human dignity, along with more predictable choices like war and nuclear weapons. The Pope spoke against surrogate motherhood, arguing that the process allows the rich to exploit the poor and violates the dignity of women and babies. Pope Francis made his comments in a 45-minute address to Vatican-accredited diplomats, which is sometimes called the State of the World speech. The Pope's stance on this matter has raised quite a few eyebrows, and some people have speculated that surrogate parenthood does have its roots in the biblical times, with relationships between Jacob, Rachel, Leah, Bilhah, and Zilpah, who had 4 sons among them, as examples. What other reasons could His Holiness have against surrogacy? So I spoke to a few people while working on this. I spoke with an intersection of women who are Catholics, and they say that the Pope was speaking as himself Francis, not speaking ex cathedra. You know what that means, right? The Pope's call on a global ban on surrogacy has definitely sparked discussions and raised questions about the regulation of surrogacy in various countries, including Nigeria. In Italy, where surrogacy is illegal, there are current efforts to extend the ban to punish couples who seek surrogacy abroad and return back to Italy. In Nigeria, while surrogacy is not expressly prohibited, the lack of clear laws and regulations creates room for exploitation and illegal practices. And so at the intersection of laws such as the Child Rights Act and the Trafficking in Persons Prohibition Enforcement and Administration Act in Nigeria, it has implications for surrogacy, but not directly. But the absence of specific legislation regulating assisted reproductive technology called ART leaves the practice of surrogacy largely unregulated. And so I wonder if the Pope's call will stir the waters for more efficient laws that protect women and children in Nigeria. This is evident in the call by House of Representatives member Babajimi Benson to investigate the activities of fertility clinics in Nigeria. It remains to be seen, however, if these discussions will influence the development of regulations and laws regarding surrogacy and the ART in Nigeria. And that's a wrap on True News. I'd love to read your comments, so leave us your comments in the comment section. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms at Rootstv Nigeria. Thanks for watching.